Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After last night, this morning, seeing on film what you saw, what kind of thoughts go through your mind as you get ready for game two?
Yeah, I mean, I think understanding what the strength of our team is, and so we have to manage the game better offensively throughout. We were up 62 to 50, and they go on a 10-0 run to get it to 62 to 60, and then we finish out the quarter a little bit well. But there's pockets of that game that we can handle better, and then obviously in our late game execution can get better against switching in different coverages and just fighting for our space. So I think it's just honing in on what we're great at and working to do it, and at the same time on the defensive end, just having a clear, concise decision of like this is what we're living with and this is what we're going to take away, and then clean up some areas we can be a little bit more physical.
What are those strengths in your mind
What?
of your team?
Spacing, execution, making open shots, making quick decisions.
Joe, the final play when Marcus kind of took it, what was supposed to happen there, and like how did kind of the spacing not work out?
It was just a read, and so they changed their matchups from the first end of game play to the second one, and so we kind of expected that, and it was more of a read, and he tried to make a play, and it's just what happens.
Do you have to get the ball in Jason or Jalen's hands?
I think you just have to make the best play you can.
You mentioned making more concise decisions defensively. I think Malcolm said last night you shouldn't be doubling as much against Harden. Looked like you were throwing different coverages at him. Just what did you kind of pull from that game in terms of how you have to guard this team?
I thought we did a great job taking away his free throws. He only shot 4. I thought he got to his step back a little bit. He was a little bit comfortable there. I think we do a better job of recognizing our shift activity, knowing who we can help off of and who we can't.
On that play where Marcus tried to drop it off to JT at the end, like he was able to get it to JT, but JT wasn't ready because Marcus has made a play that most people don't. How do you guys, try to build an offense around a player who can just make all sorts of plays?
I think it's spacing. So on that one, as Smart was driving, JT cut and Al cut at the same time, and if Al stayed right in the slot, he would have been right there for an open 3, and so they both cut to try and get an offensive rebound late, and so that's kind of where the dynamic of the reads come in, is Smart gets an advantage. If you have a 2-on-1, you make it. So I think we just kind of, our spacing just got the best of us there.
But more in general, it's these guys have played with Smart for a while, so you know the way he thinks.
Yeah.
Maybe even with your experience playing with players like that, it's how as a coach do you try to build an offense that accounts for somebody who's just going to improvise and
Our offense is built on improvising and reads, and so just being on the same page with each other and knowing the concepts are spacing, quick decisions, recognizing where the 2-on-1 is, and then trying to make the best play from there. So if you keep those foundationally, more times than not it works out.
How important is pace to generating more threes against their zone, and what else do you have to do against it?
Shoot it when you're open.
Do you think your guys were reluctant? They didn't recognize the best open shot?
I think we got into the paint at will in the first quarter, and that kind of gave us a sense of we can get there and do it at a time. And I thought they did a good job of adjusting to their shifts and then to going zone. And then sometimes when you get into a comfort level of we can get into the paint whenever we want, we have to do it over and over again. And so I think it's important to know that we have to find that balance of getting into the paint and making the right play. At the same time, we have to shoot open threes.
They took a ton of mid-range shots, which I assume you were probably happy with. But over the larger sample size, that probably wouldn't go too great for them. But how do you, in a playoff setting, kind of balance between we can live with a lot of that stuff and making it today?
Yeah, it's
we need to be sharper.
It's two things, right? It's one, it's how long can you be comfortable with saying that's going to be what we're going to live with? And we talked about the 2 times we doubled Harden, they got 6 points on. So if they don't get those 6 points, maybe you do it a little bit later in the game. So hindsight's always 20/20. The second piece to that is our strength is our offensive management. And so when you have 20 points off turnovers, when you have 10 live ball turnovers, when you get outshot by 12 at the 3-point line, and then when you get outshot by 11 in general, it really doesn't matter what coverage you play. It's a variation game at that point. And so for this team, they've been built on defense for a very, very long time. They have the DNA of that, and they're always going to play hard. But we manage the game best with our offensive decision making, and we just have to continue to do that.
What did you see on the film with the turnovers and what was causing it?
Our spacing, and so we just have to fight for spacing. They do a great job of being in shifts. I thought their switching at times slowed us down. And as the later in the game, the defenses get more physical, and so the offense, we have to fight for a physicality. We have to fight to not get slowed down and bogged down by their switching.
For a team that is this good defensively, how does a letdown like this happen? Is it an intensity thing? Is it a scheme thing?
I don't think it was a letdown. I think we just lost the game.
Just a single night, giving up 45 to Harden in one night.
I I mean, if we gave up 0 to Harden and 90 to the bench, you would have said, you gave up all those bench points.
So for you, picking your poison, kind of, you mentioned the doubles. From your perspective as a coach, like, how do you kind of react? All right, we doubled twice, we give up 6 points in that.
Hindsight's always 20/20. You always have the answer after.
Joe, with the loss last night, is there much more pressure on your team going into Game 2 at home?
I don't think so. I think our guys have been in this situation a lot. I think the most important thing is understanding what we have to do better and do it for longer stretches of the game. And we just have to have the mindset of, like, when we're at our best, this is what we do, and we got to stick to it for longer stretches.
Joe, did you ask them about why they didn't review Tucker's hit on Tatum?
They said they couldn't review it just because we wanted to.
Okay, they had to see it first,
I guess, I don't know. But that was just what we were told, is you can't review something just because you want it reviewed. So I guess they didn't see it.
And secondly, the 24-second when you guys thought the clock expired and Philadelphia was going to get the ball, what was the confusion there? And was that explained to you, or did they think Maxey had the ball?
I think they thought Maxey got it at the same time as the clock went off.
And I mean, those kind of lapses, how do you combat those? Or when
shoot
Jason,
it when you're open.
Shoot it when you're open.
Shoot it when you're open. And be spaced.
And be spaced. Spacing's important, right?
Spacing is offense, and offense is spacing.
I'll write that down.
When JT went down, you're like, you can't review because you want to. I assume you probably said he's on the ground, he got punched. Do they not accept that?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Last question. What do you like about this group, the way they respond to a night like last night, not getting the win? But the way they able to do well that next day.
You just can't have an expectation that things are always going to go the way they're supposed to go. And so we're playing two really, really great teams playing against each other. You're in it for the long haul, and just because it doesn't go your way on game one doesn't mean that it's not going to in the long haul. It doesn't mean you just have to be poised, and you have to be ready to make adjustments when you can, but you also got to know what you need to do when we're at our best.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.